Hey guys, JBRider here. Today we're back on the test server and I wanted to take a closer look and do some more testing on the new items that we're getting. I already did some nice extensive testing in my last video of the MVP torpedo air cushions, and so today I want to check out this new starter module because it works with a lot more items in the game than you think. For example, the Nest rocket launcher. This is the lock-on time with the module. Pretty fast, right? And once we have the Nest perk, it locks on even faster with the module. Pretty nice. But if we remove this module, check out the lock-on time. It's actually slower. Really slow. So I'm actually surprised that this, even though it's not a charging mechanic, maybe let me see. Oh, it is a charging mechanic. You can see it by the icon down below. Okay. So the new starter module works with the Nest. The only thing I would say is that I would make this a 1 energy item and not a 2 energy item. I find 2 a little bit expensive. Same thing with the, well, actually the Doppler's okay, but the Maxwell should be 1. Also, I have a Grenadier drone over here because I want to show you guys the new drone mechanics, because I think this Thursday when the update drops, they're also going to implement the balance changes. So now if we deploy drone, we can lock onto the enemy without a Munin cabin, which is pretty nice. It's gonna be game changing for the drones. Another interesting weapon that I tried out with the starter are the Devourers. The charge time is incredibly quick, which is kind of nice compared to when we don't have it. Not a big difference, but I can feel the difference. I already showed you guys the Raijin. This is the Raijin without the starter motor, our starter module. Quite slow. And this is it with the module. It does make a difference. It's just that you would have to use a starter module and a reload module, and yeah, that's it's a bit expensive energy-wise, you know, especially for the Raijin. Actually, for the Raijin, it might actually be okay. Yeah, it might actually be okay for the Raijin. I think weapons like the Snowfall will also charge faster because it's a charging mechanic. Same thing with the Big Bro, the Waltz. A lot more satisfying to use, actually. I always hated the spool up time for this, but now it's a lot quicker. I'm so happy that a mechanic like this is in the game, or a module. I'm 100% sure they're gonna add a legendary one, which is gonna be a lot more amazing. Weapons like the Assembler and the Astros also work. I wish this was just a little bit easier to use, you know? The second, they have completely not updated the secondary firing mode in such a long time. This could be quite interesting. I like this. This is just 1 assembler. I think 2 could be a pretty fun combo with the starter module. And so now we have the argument, we have a Hadron, we have a kick, we have a starter module, and we have a reload module. Let's see how fast this thing can shoot. Keep in mind, it only worked with the charge shot of the argument. The single shots won't work, unfortunately. The reload is crazy fast, though. The reload is crazy fast on the mines. The Swarm will also charge a lot faster. Look at that, already charged. It's very nice. By the way, I haven't used the Swarm in ages. It still dishes out a decent amount of damage. I just need to relearn the skill to use them, because I tried like a month ago, but it was rough. Still dishes out a decent amount of damage. All right, the next item we're gonna check out is the new shotgun, the Shredder. In the last video, I already showed you guys the perks and the stats of this thing. But now we're gonna go into the technical side of things. What is this categorized as? A normal shotgun. So the turret rotation speed is actually really fast on this thing. The bullet spread is very tight in the beginning. But if you go full auto, it becomes a little bit bigger. Nothing too crazy. It stays relatively tight. Let me show you guys the crosshair. That's still quite good. Now, I wondered what would happen if you added 2 gyroscopes to this thing. This thing reduces the spread after firing by -40% and also restores the aim a lot faster. And so now you can do single shots a lot faster. But the full automatic shot is still quite The spread is quite still big on them. We could reduce the spread by adding 2 harmonizers to this, because the harmonizer reduces the maximum spread and minimum spread. And if we wanted to, we can go even further by adding the Torero cabin to this thing. Let's check out the spread real quick. Ooh, very nice and tight. Whoa, the first shot is like a laser again. That's it. That's quite good. That's quite good. This thing, gun's elevation is really good as well. And so is the gun depression. And it doesn't look like there's a special animation to the ejecting shells. It's just a normal shotgun visual effect. In the description they mentioned something about a wider shot or something like that. It's not wide at all. It's just a normal automatic shotgun with a different mechanic. So let's say you're playing PvP. We have the Dolores cabin. We got 3 times the charge. Yeah, the single shots are not that great. That was something I want to check out. If I could just use these by spamming the single shot. But it's not that amazing. The real damage comes from doing the full auto mode. So the more radiators, the better. So the Aquilo is going to be perfect for this thing. Right now we almost got 10 times the charge. Let's fully charge it up. There we go. Beautiful. We got 10 times the charge and a little bit more damage. And now the extra damage is gone. But it's fine. Let's see how much damage we deal. The optimal distance might be around here. Okay, let's go a little bit further. I think we can get to that 9k damage. I needed to add like a harmonizer or something. Yeah, the further away we are, the more damage we deal. Yeah, I think we might get to that 9-9. Almost. 8k damage. I think we can get there. I think we can get there. Hold on, let me try again. All right, let's see if we can get to that 9,000 damage. Nope, we might not. Oh, yes, we did. Because the additional 50% more damage. 9k damage, boys. 9k damage. Double shredder, Dolores, 2 harmonizers, 2 Aquilos. Man. And all of that at only 14,000 power score. I already showed the base damage in my previous video, but in case you missed it, this thing deals less damage the closer you are to the target. So right now, a shot of both of them is only 36 damage. Yikes. But the further away we are, the more damage we will deal. So right now over here we deal 36 damage, but we can go slightly further. I think this was the optimal range. We deal 118. I think we can go a little bit further than this. Yeah, okay, this is the maximum range. So if you're super far away or at the max range, you can deal 140 damage per shot. Which is not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. This is a simple tap and we're already doing 2300 damage, which normally a normal legendary weapon does in Crossout. This thing is very, very powerful. All right, the next weapon we're gonna check out is the new Corex crossbow. Looks like the smallest crossbow we have in the game. The third rotation speed is also pretty much the same as the shredder, pretty fast. Gun depression is also really good. It's kind of hard to tell because this thing has an incredible projectile speed. Gun elevation is also quite good. Again, very fast projectile speed. Let's see if this thing has weapon damage drop off. That deals 132 damage. Nope, it does not have weapon drop off. At least not at these distances. Let's try a little bit further. Nope, it does not have weapon damage drop off. So one bolt deals 132 damage. And let's see what the perk active. So that's one charge, second charge, third charge. One shot does 156. That's kind of low. All right, let's do an overcharge shot to make the round explode. 120, So that's a base damage, and this is a base damage with exploding shot, and you deal a nice big boom. I think this is how most people are gonna use it. This thing goes incredibly straight too. Almost 100% accuracy. Kind of cool. Hold on, I want to try something. I want to see how these perform with the Hadron cabin, a starter module, a reload module, and 2 core axes. And so now we have 2 core axes, Hadron, Cyclops, and starter. I'm not sure if that, you know, the little indicator counts as charging. I just want to see how much damage this thing will deal in 10 seconds. Lots of explosive damage though. Yeah, not too bad. That's a miss. Kind of charged too long in my opinion. Even with the starter. Let's remove the starter and see what happens. Hard to tell if the starter had an effect on this. Hard to tell. And finally, we're gonna check out the new hybrid legendary machine gun. Weapon elevation is really good. Let's check for the machine gun as well. Yep, same thing. Turret rotation speed is slower than most machine guns. Actually quite slow. I do love that all the weapons we get in this battle pass are similar in size. I think this is the perfect size for a weapon in Crossout. In the video from yesterday, I showed that this thing has almost no spread. And let's check that out. Oh my god, that's really accurate. We are getting some spread because we're zoomed in, but if you don't zoom in, you'll barely see the reticle move. Yeah, look at that. You barely see it move. Kind of crazy that we have this range. And this is like with nothing. So if we add harmonizers and parries, maybe. If we add 2 harmonizers, it's gonna get even better. Let's try that out quickly. Okay, so now we got 2 hybrids, 2 harmonizers, and 3 Aquila radiators. Let's check out the range. Wow. Some shots might still miss though. And machine guns do have damage drop off, so the damage is not as amazing. But it's still alright, because one shot over here, let me see. One shot over here deals 32 damage. But if I go further, like all the way in the garage, one shot deals 28. So there is damage drop off on machine guns. Now I want to see how much damage we deal. We're going to go super close. See how much damage we deal with perk and without perk of this thing. We're going to go right here so we can still charge our perk for our secondary mode. Yeah, there we go. So around 2600 damage, nothing too horrible. Let's check it out for the grenade launcher. With perk, by the way, this is with perk. I'm stopping sometimes just to like optimize the reload module. So we got, whoa, that's with perk, 4715 damage. And let's switch to machine gun again. This is the with perk, machine guns with perk. Yeah, I can already see it's like going crazy fast. $3,700. It's not as good as a shredder, but that's still pretty good. Now we're doing it without perk. Trying to optimize. Oh, goddammit, I messed up. Still pretty good though, 4600 damage. You gotta play with the Aquila perk to like optimize your damage. That's a lot of explosion damage. I don't think even the Imugi doesn't come even close. Ooh, that's surprisingly good. But it's not gonna reach 5k. Definitely not. Yeah. What a big difference. One more thing I want to see is that these grenade launchers are magnetic, but they're not. Okay, so they're not magnetic, they just are sticky. These are sticky grenades. They're not like the Imugi where they magnetize onto a target even though you miss. This one sticks on the first surface. Oh, that's kind of cool. They stick on any surface. Oh, why didn't they say that? Sticky grenades. That's kind of cool. That's kind of... All right, fellas. Well, there you have it. Just wanted to do some extra testing on these new items. I know the battle pass doesn't look exciting, but the weapons are definitely interesting. The update drops this Thursday, and as always, on Thursday there will also be Twitch drops for the next 2 weeks after the update. I'll be streaming live on Twitch on my usual times on Friday and Saturday, so make sure you stop by to collect your cartridges. Oh, by the way, they also mentioned that they're bringing back all the rewards from the Twitch drops from all the previous Twitch drops again, so if you missed one that you liked, you can get it this weekend. Sorry, not this weekend, during the whole Twitch drop event. It's usually 2 weeks long. So thanks again for watching. If you guys enjoyed, or if you guys found this video informative, you know what to do. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Everything really helps out. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.